Hello and welcome to this educational presentation of concept number 1 using the PTS Primo charts. Welcome, my name is Stephen Primo, President and Founder of Specialist Trading, and I've teamed up with Pro Trader Strategies to develop the PTS Primo charts, and now we're presenting these educational webinars so you know how to apply all the different techniques and methods you learned in the Secrets course along with our new platform. We're really excited about our educational platform, and I'm going to show you in just a few moments how to apply all the different concepts and ideas. But before we begin, as always, please take a moment to view our disclaimer. I'm going to show you a lot of different performance results using the concepts in the Secrets course, but please remember that we can in no way guarantee that any of the results I'm about to share with you will be repeated in the future. So please take a moment and then we shall begin this educational presentation. Okay, so when you looked at the course, the first thing we talked about was our concepts, all right? Different concepts, because this is the building block for trading any method, any strategy, any technique. And so we use these in all of our strategies and all of our methods, and so we have to start at the beginning in order to understand them. And then we're going to show you how to apply these to the new PTS Primo charting platform. Now, concept number 1 is something I'm sure you've all heard of before. This is to always trade with the trend. This is Trading 101. This is what I was taught when I first started trading 4 decades ago. The only trouble is, if we all know this, then why do the majority of traders fail? It's our opinion because most traders have a different idea of what the trend is. We're going to share with you 3 of our best techniques for finding out and discerning what the actual trend is. All right, so here are our main tools for determining the trend. The first one is by applying a simple indicator which is called the Donchian channels. You can find this on our PTS Primo charts. It's a great tool. We use this in some of our strategies, and let me share with you how to actually apply it. Firstly, we're going to change the settings a little bit, and the settings are a little bit different from what you possibly heard in the course because markets have changed, volatility has changed. And so we want to set this, the settings for the Donchian channels to 21 period. Now I know in the actual video we talked about 14 period, but over time we have found out that the 21 default setting works the best in all markets in all time frames. So we want to make sure that the Donchian channels are set to 21 period. And then the way we're going to use this particular technique and this particular indicator is to see that all 3 channels must be headed in the same direction. If all 3 are headed upwards, we have an uptrend. If all 3 are headed downwards, we have a downtrend. It's that simple. Now you can apply any strategy, any method to that trend. All right, so as we look at this chart here in Apple, we have no indicators applied. So here's what you would do if you wanted to format this for the PTS Primo charting platform. The first thing you would do is hit the icon at the very top for the technical indicators. And once you hit that, a drop-down window will appear. Now, as you can see at the very top where it says indicators, you can either type in the specific tool you're looking for or scroll down the list of all of our different methods and tools here. We have over 100 different indicators you can choose from. Now, at the very bottom of this drop-down window, you'll see the Donchian channels. Okay, all you would have to do is click that on, and then another window will appear. This is the indicator parameter settings. So as you see, you can set it to 21 period. You can choose whatever colors you'd like, and at the very bottom you would simply click on Save Settings, and then once you do that, you see the Donchian channels appear the way you set them to 21 period and the different colors you like. All right, now as we look here at this example, the Donchian channels are headed upwards. They have a specific type of approach where it's a stair-step approach, whereas you can see a Donchian channel will head upwards, kind of go sideways a little bit, then go sideways before it heads upward again. That's okay. They're not going to all be in sync. Remember, we just want to see that they're headed in the same stair-step upward direction. Now, from time to time, you will see them going sideways. This appears as if the trend has stopped or maybe it's changing. As we said in the video course, this is just a pause, all right? It does not mean that the trend has changed. We're just simply pausing to see what we're going to be doing next. So if we were headed up previously, as you see here in the bottom Donchian channel, all we've done is pause. So the trend is still up. They're still all in sync going upwards. Now here's the beauty of these pauses. As we can see at this point, price is headed lower. So someone would say, well, the trend has changed. We've broken this little support here. We're going much lower. But the Donchian channels have not changed. They've just simply paused, telling us that most likely, until they change, we're still in an uptrend. And as you can see later on, price resumed its upward course. This can happen just as simply to the downside, okay? As we can see, we have all three channels headed in a stair-step lower direction. We pause, we go lower, we pause, we go lower. Now at this point, we see that a nice rally has taken place. It's broken the resistance here at this top, and people would think, well, we're made a bottom. We're probably going higher. This is the way most people will try to discern what the trend is. But what are the Donchian channels telling us? Well, they're simply going lower, they're pausing, going lower. All three of them have. So this would tell us that we are still in a downtrend, even though prices have risen, and we can see the sell-off continues. So this is a great tool. Remember, you can add any strategy, any method. This is not a system. It's not telling you where to enter. It's not telling you where to cover. It's not telling you where to buy. All we're simply doing is sharing with you a trending tool. All right, so that was the Donchian channels. Let's go to trending tool number 2, which are the Bollinger Bands. I'm sure you've all heard of them. They're just about in every charting software package. That's the beauty of the PTS Primo charts, is that we have them specially formatted for you. And let me show you how you can do that on your own if you like. Here's the special setting. This is the beauty of the new platform we have, because it's all pre-formatted for you. But the Bollinger Band setting is set to a 20 length. This is a standard length for the Bollinger Bands. But what we're going to be changing are the upper and lower band deviations, which we talked about in the secrets course. We're simply lowering them down to a fraction, to plus 0.382 and negative 0.382. We described this earlier, and this is just simply the distance the upper and lower band are from the middle moving average, okay? Just like the Donchian channels, we want to see that all bands are moving in the same direction. But you're going to notice that this is a lot different because the Bollinger Bands are a lot smoother. Let me show you what I mean here. First, let's see how you can access the Bollinger Bands on the platform. You would still hit that indicator icon and the drop-down page would appear. As we see here, the Donchian channels are circled. This is what we looked at last time. Now we would simply move over to the left, and that's where the Bollinger Bands are. So all you have to do is click that on, and another drop-down window will appear. We have the period set to 20. The standard deviation is set to 0.382, as you see there. And then at the very bottom, you can simply hit Save Settings after you've chosen your colors you'd like to view, and you'll see the Bollinger Bands appear. Notice how they are much smoother in their approach. This is a weekly chart of the spiders, and you could tell going back at least a year that we were already in a nice overall uptrend because of the smooth upward movement in the Bollinger Bands, okay? Even though you had some nice sell-off here, and remember, these are weekly charts, what was the direction of the Bollinger Bands? They continued to move in a nice smooth upward approach, telling you that even though we went lower, this was still in an uptrend. And then we went lower here, and we were still in an uptrend. This can work to the downside as well. We're looking at a daily chart of the Australian dollar. It doesn't matter what market we're looking at or what time frame. The Bollinger Bands are headed in a nice smooth downward direction. Even though the Australian dollar had these nice little rallies from time to time, as you can see here, they would bounce up here, go lower, bounce up again, go lower, bounce up. The direction of the Bollinger Band still remained in a nice smooth downward approach. So this is all available for you on the PTS Primo charting platform. Now let's move on to our third and last of our tools that we use for determining the trend. And this is a very innovative way of using this particular indicator. This is the 5-period RSI. I'm sure you've all heard of this, the RSI tool before. We're going to change things a little bit. A lot of people like to use this for overbought and oversold type of trading. We're not interested in that. We're only looking at this as a trending tool. So here's what we're doing. We're changing the length to read 5. It's usually defaulted in most charting software packages at 14. And here's the way we're going to apply it. An uptrend will equal either 5 to 8 consecutive bars above the midline. The midline is 50. That's the 50 setting on the RSI. A downtrend will be when you see 5 to 8 consecutive bars closing below the midline. That's it. So you want to count to make sure that we're going in a certain direction. Once you get that a specific amount of bars in your direction on the actual indicator, that's telling you that a trend is most likely in place. So once again, if we click on the technical indicator icon where we had Bollinger Bands before, we'll just simply move up to the top here where we see the relative strength index, which is the RSI. Click that on, and you will see the drop-down menu telling you the parameters. You would click on the period and change that to 5. You would choose what colors you were interested in and simply hit the Save Settings, and that would have it saved for you at the very bottom. Now let's look at this daily chart of KLAC. Okay, we have the 5-period RSI plotted. This is the actual RSI. Remember, we're not interested in overbought, oversold because we don't trade overbought, oversold. We only want to look for the trend. Starting at this point right here, the corresponding bar, we had 1 close above and we had a total of 8 bars. The more the better, in my opinion. But we're looking at 8 bars that closed above the midline right here. So this is telling us that an uptrend is placed. Even though nothing has been seen yet in the actual stock, we've had a slight move to the upside. The indicator is telling us that most likely we have an uptrend in place. And as we move forward in the chart, well, we can see that a very nice uptrend ensued. This was all projected by having 8 closes above. And as you can see, looking at the indicator, we never actually went below this entire time. This can work just as easily on a 30-minute chart of the E-mini futures. Okay, we have the 5-period RSI plotted right here. We see here that we peaked up above the midline and then had 1 close below. So we start our countdown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bars closed below. We never touched or went above that midline. So this is telling us, even though the E-mini on a 30-minute time frame really hasn't done much, the indicator is telling us that most likely we're in a downtrend scenario, that you should not be buying anything. And as we can see, the E-mini futures went much, much lower. So let's review. We gave you 3 great tools for determining the trend, but please remember, these are only tools for determining the trend. They're just trending tools. They are not telling you where to enter, not telling you where to buy. As we get further along in our studies, you'll see exactly how to use these tools and to make up the formation of a strategy or a trading method. Our first tool were the Donchian channels. We want to see all 3 of those going in the same stair-step direction to tell us what the trend is. We give you the settings and we've formatted them on the actual PTS Primo charts. Our second tool were the Bollinger Bands. We've also changed and edited the settings. Once again, we want to see now all 3 bands headed in the same direction to tell us and determine what the trend is. And then lastly, we gave you the RSI tool but edited it to a 5-period setting. Anywhere from 5 to 8 bars, the more the better, that are either above or consistently below the 50 midline will tell you most likely that a trend is in play. Remember, these tools do not tell you how strong the trend will be, how long it will go, where it will begin, where it will end. We're just trying to get you in sync with the market, because remember, everything depends on being in sync with the market. The reason why most traders fail is because they're out of sync. They're trying to determine when the trend will end or when it will begin or when it will bottom out. We don't believe in that. Our job as traders is simply to listen to the market, find out what the market wants to do, and then jump on board. And that's the beauty of our new PTS Primo charting platform. It is because for the very first time you have a platform that will teach you how to listen to the market. So remember, once again, at our platform, all you have to do is click on the specific icons to see which trend or tool or which type of indicator you want to use. Now, as you'll go forward in your studies, you'll see that we use a number of our strategies that apply these, and they are actually in the rules for the method. For example, strategy number 1 strictly uses the Donchian channels for its trend determinator. Strategy number 3 strictly uses the Bollinger Bands. And then once again, if you want to use the 5-period RSI, all you have to do is hit the technical indicator icon up here, and you can apply it to any method, any trading technique that you'd like to use, because it is simply a trending tool, as all of ours are. So as we review these once again, remember, go over, watch this video as often as you can to get a great idea to determine how to apply these to the PTS Primo charts, and then study them, because we have more information to go along. We have to take this as a step-by-step basis. We can't jump ahead. So study all these 3 different tools, find out which one feels the most comfortable for you, and then we'll go on and move on to the next step, which is concept number 2, learning how to always trade pullbacks within the trend. As we close, if you want more information, please do not hesitate to contact Pro Trader Strategies. Contact your trading consultant. You can either email them at the email address provided here or call them directly at area code 310-598-6677. As we take one last look at our disclaimer, once again, we're really excited about our new development here with our platform. It has all of our strategies, all of our methods, and watch this video as often as you can before you move on to the next one. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.